How's it going, guys? Thomas here. In this video, you're going to learn how to talk to camera when you don't feel like it. There's going to be plenty of times when, especially if you've set yourself a YouTube schedule where you want to be consistently uploading content to any platform actually, where you don't feel like doing it. And the problem with talking to camera, if you don't feel like doing it, is often one can directly see it. So it's not like you have to write an email and you don't feel like writing the email, but you can write it and then edit it to make it sound a bit more enthusiastic or whatever, and then send. And the person who's reading it is going to have no idea that you didn't feel like writing that email, right? When you're talking to camera, it's slightly less obvious. You don't really feel like showing up, you don't really feel like being there, and that can create such a barrier to actually doing it, such a resistance when you don't feel like it, that when you actually come to talk to camera, it can be a disaster. And you can be very low energy, you can look like you don't want to be there, then that can create a judgment loop where you feel like you're doing something wrong, that people aren't going to want to watch it, then you feel like you're giving a bad performance, downward spiral, right? So how do we break out of that spiral? How do we feel like talking to camera? How do we get ourselves to want to talk to camera, even when we don't? The main trick that I use that works pretty much every time is to record a video before the video. So sit down, wherever I am, more or less make the same shot that you're going to do. So that's important. Get the framing right, set up the sound, whatever. Then press record and talk about whatever's on your mind, knowing that this video isn't going to be the one that you publish. So you can talk about, most likely you'll end up talking about why you don't want to talk to camera. So the reason I'm actually making this video is because this happened to me just now. I didn't really feel like making a video. I was going to make a video about something else, and then I thought, you know what, I can make a video about how to make a video when you don't feel like it. So I'm going to cut back to a clip that I made just 10 minutes ago of me making this first video. Okay, so I'm making this video to warm up, getting this out of my system. Don't really feel like talking to camera today because for whatever reason I'm just not feeling it. I feel like a little bit lethargic. I'm not feeling very excited. I'm struggling a little bit to connect with the topic, and I'm just making this video now to start talking because I know this is a process and I just need to get myself going, basically. So what have I been up to? Last week I went on holiday, which was pretty sick. All right, fuck it, I just got to start this video. In this video, we're going to learn about how to talk to camera when you don't feel like it. So the reason why this works, and the reason why making a first video is a good idea, is because of three things. Number one is it is quite simply a warm-up. So it's not enough for you to maybe think out the issue. So just kind of think it out and think out why you don't want to talk to camera, and then try and convince yourself to then talk to camera. Because then when it comes to talking to camera, you haven't actually warmed up. So by talking it out to the camera, you're then warming yourself up, you're getting used to it, you're getting your vocal folds exercising, you're getting your face moving, you're getting your hands moving. And what that does is when it actually comes to press record for your actual video, you already feel like you're kind of halfway there, you feel like you've warmed up. The second reason is that it's like an emotional output. You're getting your emotions out of you so you can function more clearly. A lot of the reason why we might not want to talk to camera often can come down to emotions. It might be that we're being perfectionist about it, so therefore we're kind of judging ourselves and feeling bad. It might be just because we feel lethargic, but then it's not just feeling lethargic, it's often judging ourselves for being lethargic, whatever that might be. So a lot of the time it is an emotional issue. So if we talk it out, it's the same thing as journaling. If you've ever done this before, you realize it works. You might feel a certain way about something, journal it, write down the issue. And once you can see the issue on paper, it kind of feels like it's outside of you. It feels like it's at least kind of discharged a little bit. It's not 100% anymore. You can kind of, goes down to 70, 50%, so you have a bit of breathing space and you don't feel overwhelmed. Same thing with the talking to camera. So you're not only you warming up, you're also getting the emotion out of you by talking about it, by talking about why you don't want to talk to camera, which then creates point number 3, why this is a good idea, which is it creates a blank slate. It basically means that you're now kind of a blank canvas. You don't have the negative stuff. You've kind of discharged it. You also have warmed up. Maybe not so you're warmed up and feeling really ready to go, but you've warmed up enough that you're kind of out of this kind of lethargic state and you're just kind of feeling normal again. You've got your emotions out of you and now you're kind of a blank slate. So at this point, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're amped up and super ready to go talking to camera, but it might mean that you feel like, okay, this isn't so bad. I think I'm just going to press record and make the video. So then at this point, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to press record and then make that second video. If at this point you still don't really feel like doing that, then I'm going to leave you with one more tip, which is to just take 2 minutes and visualize. So visualize why you do want to talk to camera. And this might take a little bit of self-convincing. So you just got to reconnect with whatever mission it is that you started out with when you're doing this. So at some point you felt enthusiastic, you felt excited, and you planned to talk to camera. And it might not be planning this specific time, I'm going to plan to talk to camera on Tuesday. We might be talking about your whole journey. You might have sat down a year ago and thought, you know what, I want to make this YouTube channel, or I really want to talk about this topic, or whatever that might be, that kind of dream that you had. So that excitement, that enthusiasm, we're trying to kind of tap back into that and remember why we're doing this in the first place. So if you just visualize that, maybe visualize the moment that you did think about this, or maybe visualize the end goal. You could also visualize the people that you're going to talk to. Whichever of those you find more motivating and that you can kind of connect to, start visualizing that and just give yourself 2 minutes. And then, having done the warm-up, you've emotionally outputted a little bit, you're now a blank slate, but you've also visualized a little bit what you actually want to accomplish with this, the reason why you started. You'll be in a much better position when you actually press record. So I hope that helps. Feel free to check out the Talk to Camera cheat sheet, which is in the description. Also down there you see a link to join the 30-day Talking on Camera challenge. And until next time, keep filming, stay creative, bye-bye.